So you're ambitious, you've got big dreams, goals that inspire you, and visions of success that motivate you every day. Ultimately, you want to live the life you've always imagined. But here's the catch: you're lazy. Deep down, you know exactly what you should be doing, yet you don't do it. This disconnect between ambition and action leads to feelings of guilt, because deep inside, you realize you're capable of so much more. At first, this guilt feels manageable, but as days turn into weeks, and weeks into months, guilt turns into acceptance. Soon enough, the new year rolls around, and you find yourself setting the exact same goals you set last year. Initially, you're fired up, motivated by enthusiasm and, if we're honest, a touch of delusion. But soon, procrastination creeps back in, like that persistent relative who shows up uninvited at every family gathering. Before long, procrastination becomes your daily companion, fueling a cycle of inactivity that eventually leads you to label yourself as a lazy person. But here's the thing: labeling yourself as lazy doesn't define who you really are. It's merely a reflection of your current habits. So, the important question is, how do we break free from this vicious cycle of procrastination? You've probably watched numerous videos online suggesting surface-level fixes like deleting social media apps, blocking distractions, or setting your alarm earlier. While these tips might help temporarily, they often fail to tackle the underlying problem. To genuinely overcome procrastination, you need to address the root cause, which can be summed up in one word: inertia. In physics, inertia describes the tendency for objects at rest to stay at rest, and objects in motion to continue in motion unless acted upon by an external force. This is known as Newton's first law of motion. Believe it or not, this same principle applies to our daily tasks. Getting started on anything, no matter how small, requires an initial burst of energy. The bigger we perceive the task, the larger this initial push seems, making it daunting to even start. This is why you often find yourself avoiding tasks altogether, opting instead for quick dopamine hits from scrolling social media, watching TV, or snacking mindlessly. To truly break procrastination, you must first break the inertia. Luckily, there are two simple but effective strategies for doing this. First, lower the stakes of getting started. For example, if you need to write a 5,000-word essay, don't start by telling yourself to complete the entire essay in one go. That's too overwhelming, and inertia will immediately push back. Instead, commit to writing just 50 words. Yes, only 50 words. This significantly reduces the perceived difficulty, making it easier to begin without relying heavily on discipline or willpower. Another incredibly effective method is the 2-minute rule. If you're dreading a task, tell yourself you'll do it for only 2 minutes. For instance, if you're avoiding cleaning your room, put on your favorite song and clean just until the song ends. The magic of this method lies in its simplicity. Often, you'll find that once you've started, momentum carries you far beyond the initial 2-minute mark. Why does this work? Remember inertia. Objects in motion stay in motion. Once you've pushed past that initial resistance, continuing becomes exponentially easier. Initially, it's like pushing a ball uphill. It takes effort and energy, but once you cross the peak, momentum builds, and suddenly, it's all downhill. Tasks feel easier, progress feels satisfying, and before you know it, you've achieved far more than initially intended. The beauty of these strategies is their versatility. Whether your goal is going to the gym regularly, building your side hustle, improving your grades, or strengthening relationships, the methods remain equally effective. The key takeaway here is this: stop viewing tasks as massive mountains to conquer all at once. Instead, see them as a series of small, manageable hills that can be tackled incrementally. As Martin Luther King Jr. once famously said, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." Today, commit to taking just that first step, no matter how small, and watch as your inertia transforms into unstoppable momentum, guiding you closer to the life you've always dreamed of.